We're all winners in the Anybody But Them Cup this year, Joe. We're all winners.
Well, us in particular, because of a not former, I guess he's still a friend of our show, but a former co-host of ours, or yeah. So let's just say that order has been restored.
Order has been restored. If you don't know what we're talking about, we'll tell you about it after the intro. It was a crazy weekend. We saw, well, actually, you know what? Before we even get into that, into what happened in the World Cup this weekend, we have some other big news you want to share, or that we should all be interested in. Actually, we should be interested in this.
Yeah, literally hot off the press. That's why I apologize to my guy Reggie, a little bit late on a Monday night, where I'm sure he's watching hoops highlights and stuff like that.
I don't watch the NBA; it's terrible.
So, yeah. So I'm sure a lot of shows are doing the same thing, right, Reg? They're giving you this, right? They're giving you this information.
Oh yeah, all of them, I guess. Like, I mean, you'll probably hear about this first thing in the morning when you get up.
Oh, I'm sure, right? Yeah, and on the podcasts. And anyway, so congratulations to the Syracuse men's soccer team, NCAA Division I national champions, beating Indiana in a penalty shootout. And why is that important to Canadian soccer? Our good friend and a person that I admire a lot, and a really good guy, Coach Ian McIntyre at Syracuse, has done an outstanding job of Reggie's working on some stuff, guys.
Trying anyway.
That's good. I like that. So Coach Mac at Syracuse has done an amazing job over the last 10 plus years, or 10 years that he's been at that institution, I think for about 10 years, recruiting young Canadians who are doing their thing in MLS and in the world. Why do I mean world? Look at Kamal Miller, who just came a great spell at the World Cup with Canada, a Syracuse alum. So many Canadians coming out of that program. I don't know, another guy, Tajon Buchanan. How about that? So lots of Syracuse in this. And today, and one of our good mates who we play soccer with, his son, Trevor Carabin, part of the Syracuse men's soccer team that won a Canadian, Christian Curdy, also both Vaughan Soccer Club alums, winning a couple of Sigma guys too. I'm missing them now. And so I'm going to get you their names, just so I don't mess up their names, right? And Reggie, how about Nathan Apoku from Accra, Ghana? How about that one for you? You like that one?
Well, hopefully he can help it. Well, we're gonna need more. We're gonna need more help than players. We need help from FIFA as well. But another topic for another day. So,
yeah, Levante Johnson from Brampton, Ontario, winning that. I'm missing a couple. Of course, I told you about Trevor Carabin. Olu, I'm gonna mess this up. Reggie, please give me your African pronunciations. OLU, so Olu, OYEGN. GUN, sorry, LLE. So
sounds Nigerian.
Are you Gunle? I think. OU Gunle, I think.
Sounds Nigerian.
Yeah, so a lot of Canadian content, winning the national championship in Division I. Okay, another one, Jaheim Wickham. Sorry, a lot of Canadians. Noah, there's tons of Canadians on that roster. And again, congratulations to Coach Mac and Yuka Maslin and Sean Lawler for winning the national championship. Thank you for always giving our Canadian boys a chance. And yes, personally, a little bit of a thing with me with Christian Curdy, as well as Trevor Carabin, Stanford's son, who is part of the Jamaican national team staff too. Reggie and myself, one of our mates. So congratulations. This is amazing news. We have always prided ourselves on giving you guys the Canadian content that will be, Reggie, what everyone's talking about after. So you're welcome, everybody. We gave it to you first.
That's right. Just Reggie, like we said, it should be the first thing everyone talks about tomorrow morning now that they've heard about it, right? So,
and of course, Reggie, one of our guys who's been on our show, Jordan Feliciano, Vaughan Soccer Club, and some big news coming in for him soon too. But anyhow, he was at the game too, so watching that game. So congratulations, Canada, 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 Canada on the come up, and we're here, so it's great.
Who did they play in the finals?
Oh, Indiana. Like, how about men's soccer royalty? So that's Syracuse's first national championship. And again, great game. 2-2 Reggie. Goes to extra time. Full of great goals. PKs were out of this world. I think it went to like 10-9 or 9-8 in PKs.
Oh, went to PKs, eh?
Yeah, we were watching it with Reggie's favorite man from Maryland, Carmen Asako, and Patrice Geyser, Serge DeLuca, and other guys, Vince Calabria, staff coaches, and then, of course, Anthony Vidori watching at home and stuff as well on his own. So amazing stuff. So congratulations, because this is the stuff we're talking about now, and we know where the future brings. So sorry, Reggie, we can get into our World Cup stuff, but I know we wanted to give the people what no one else brings them.
Well, I mean, we talked about it when we were talking about Canada. We talked about the number of Canadians that were even coming out of specifically Syracuse that we're hoping can come in and take over for some of the guys that aren't going to be there for the next World Cup. We mentioned Steve Vittoria and Hutchinson and guys like that who are safe to say that's their last World Cup, first and last. I mean, no disrespect, but they're getting on in age, and we were looking at some of the guys from Syracuse maybe would be able to take their place on the squad. So we're always looking at NCAAs. We're always following the Canadian kids before you've heard of them, and then when everybody hears about them, then they were the first, right, Joe? So
listen, Reg, next Wednesday, MLS draft. We're looking at Christian Curdy, possibly. We're looking at from Syracuse. We're looking at Malcolm Johnston, Alistair's brother, or what Alistair says, Malcolm's brother, Alistair. So we got it. So we're going to keep bringing that to you. So good luck to everybody, and congratulations.
Yep, congratulations to the Syracuse. They're the orange now, right? Syracuse orange?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so from that great news to a pretty good Saturday of football, pretty good Saturday and Sunday of football, I think.
That was like the quality of football. I mean, I think we can all say, safely, I don't know, you'd be hard-pressed to find a better game. It was a really good game of football, France and England. Is that fair to say, Reggie?
I love the result.
I love the result too. I did too. But I think what a quality match. I think, and it's not often I agree with what we hear on TV, but I did agree with this. France does not need to outplay you for 90 minutes or 95 minutes, but they have this special knack of making those moments count. And why? Because they have game changers, right? They do. And, right? Mbappe, Dembele, we're going to mention the guy you said. You're right. Not enough people are talking about Antoine Griezmann, but Giroud in the box, who seems like he's turning back time, and actually the best he's ever been. Dare I say that? But Mbappe is almost unplayable in moments, in spurts. And so they just have this game changer mentality. And again, I really believe that in the game, England played very well. I believe that in the game, England did enough to, impress and didn't crash out, other than we'll get to why and so on. But other than obviously Harry Kane skying the pen, to me, how do you take off Bukayo Saka? Not because let's take about what Reggie, was he not dominating that game? Wasn't he the man making the difference? I don't know.
It's Southgate doing Southgate things. It's just crazy. You need to go for goals. You need to get goals. You need to get chances to score against a team that at any given moment can hit you on a counter and put it by you. And you're leaving on defensive midfielders and taking off wingers. And I don't know, but but like you said, they played okay, well enough to compete in the game. But I don't know if that's because of Southgate or in spite of Southgate. So I'm not really sure what he brings as a coach to that game. And that's, everybody was saying that. Why did you take off Saka? Why did you take off Saka? I'm not sure. It's not. They don't score no goals from open play. I mean, you have to have somebody that can attack the wings, and he was causing Hernandez. Sorry, Joe. He was causing Hernandez problems.
There's nothing to be sorry about. Like for me, he was yes, absolutely. He was causing Taylor Hernandez fits. We'll talk about his absolute brain shock. But again, that's Taylor Hernandez. He gives you so much. And then he gives you one moment of really just absent-mindedness. But Bukayo Saka was making the difference. I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand why to take him off. To me, not enough people are talking about how Southgate, in that sense, got it wrong. I know there's a lot of, dubious decisions in terms of a foul on the first goal. I'll give you that. No problem. But, the penalties were given. You had a chance to make it 2-2. But Bukayo Saka coming off, to me, is a direct indicator of Gareth Southgate just having like a script, like, oh, I got to take him off and put him on at this point. Yeah. There's nothing else you can say that deters me from thinking that.
Yeah,
he had this plan, right?
Yeah, like you're gonna put this guy on with 75 minutes to go, no matter what the guy is doing, what the guy that's playing is doing. To bring on Sterling is, I don't understand what's going on.
and Reg to bring and Reg to be to put Jack Grealish on that late in the game, like Reggie.
But again, we're talking about you mentioned it. I wanted to say this, and you mentioned it about game changers. France's team is full of game changers. The midfielders to the forwards, full of game changers. Who on this on this English national team is going to be the guy that you're going to give the ball to and say, okay, let's change this up. Let's get something. Let's get a chance. Who was that guy?
They had him. Well, Reggie, to me, in my opinion, they had him. Like, again, Bukayo Saka was doing the job. I think he was playing. He was balling.
Right.
He hadn't let him be. He drew your penalty. He was going at Taylor Hernandez, like you said, giving him fits. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe, listen, I get it. The balance was working for a little bit with Henderson and Declan Rice. But maybe, hey, Bellingham is so good. And I think so adaptable to playing any role in midfield. I don't know, can we finally see Jack Grealish in that 10 role? We didn't see James Maddison at all. Was he hurt? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But maybe if we go Grealish, with Bellingham and Declan Rice. I don't know, but something. And this
you can't have two holding midfielders when you're chasing a game, Joel.
I agree. And that's what I'm saying. So you could, and Bellingham, who can play that box-to-box role so well. So you hold, he can kind of still cover. And maybe Grealish plays underneath or plays somewhere else. I don't think enough is being talked about. And I know Logan has, and I give him credit for that. That Southgate is still, this is it. He can't stay here, guys. He just can't. This generation of player from 2018, 2020, Euro 2021, whatever it was, 2020, to this World Cup. The bottom line is this amazing generation is so talented, like, I guess, Reggie, you could call it like the Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes, and that era, Beckham. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's still nothing to show for it. There's nothing to show for it. And countries that have far less, Italy, have won, not just Italy, other teams that have won, Portugal in 2016, they have won titles and trophies with far less. It's unacceptable because all of this that has been leading up, right, Reggie? I mean, dare I say Phil Foden is a game changer? Absolutely. Phil Foden had a good – Foden and Saka were balling, throughout this, last spell. And for me, this generation that won U20 or U17 World Cups, and this was 3 tournaments now where they didn't get it done.
Well, you don't have to have the best team, Joe. You just have to go on, and you know it better than anybody. You have to go on a run for 6 games. That's it. You don't have to have the best team. You just have to have the best 4 weeks.
And what makes a team a tournament team, right? The organization, the coaching thing. And this is what I'm saying. Player for player, for as much as we bother Logan and stuff, a lot of people would take England players in their squad. I would. But it's that thing. No, I think we would. I think if we look at it, besides all the other stuff, we would, like Saka, Foden, Harry Kane, these guys. The only guys I wouldn't have, and you know what's funny, Reggie? Harry Maguire, who I don't rate, but he actually didn't have a bad tournament. Isn't that crazy? Right? But again,
I thought Mbappe and Dembele and Giroud would give Stones and Maguire more of a hard time, but they really didn't.
Right? And to me, again, where is this lack of? I don't understand how you don't bring on so Trent Alexander-Arnold. You can't fit him in anywhere, even in a higher position. Like Kieran Trippier started this term again, Reggie. It's Southgate's lack of tactical adaptability, in my opinion. It's just so glaring that you can't tell me that if you had an Ancelotti, if you had a Tuchel, there's so many guys. I think they might get it done with this England team. I really believe it.
Well, I don't think a coach like Ancelotti and a coach like Tuchel brings the players that Southgate brings as well. There's probably about 4, 5, 6 of those players that shouldn't even be on the plane to go. Never mind playing. So yeah. I don't know. I don't, like you said, James Maddison didn't touch the field. Did Foden come on in that game against France at all?
No, Foden played. He played from the start.
Oh, I don't even remember. I think I'm so happy they're out. I didn't even remember he played. I mean, you're taking a guy. You're taking 2 guys in Luke Shaw and Mark Maguire and Harry Maguire that they don't even play on their club team, and you're taking them and they're starting for your national team. You're taking a guy like Calvin Phillips, who's played a total of 40 minutes since the beginning of the season, and you're taking him over and not playing guys like Maddison who are in form from the EPL. I don't understand, Joe. I don't understand it.
For myself, Reggie, barring the other stuff, and I know that yes, the refereeing was not great, but it was for me, that team still doesn't get it done because I don't think, for as good as England played, Reggie, they still can't get it done in that game. And to me, that's something deeper than just player choice and player thing. And again, Harry Kane steps up. Listen, I know Reggie jokes about the Spurs and stuff like that, but I wish it didn't happen for any player, right? That's a really tough thing for a good player to live with. And I know what you're talking about too. Is he taking the same amount of abuse? I read somewhere today that even Rashford is still taking abuse. People are really sick, right? They just
Rashford missed the free kick at the end, so now it's his fault, right?
And by the way, did we see how close that came? That was a great hit.
Yeah,
a great hit.
But it didn't go in.
Yeah, it's nonsense that we're still dealing with that stuff. And truth be told, I think we all want certain teams to lose, whoever you're pulling for. And yes, I was not disappointed in England, but obviously, but it kind of sucks when you to have any of these players live with any of that moment. It's tough, you're ugh, you've played, we miss a penalty in our men's league and we're killing ourselves in terms of, how did I do that? And these poor guys are having to do it at, the whole world making memes about it. So, but again, Reggie, would you say what a tough out France are? They're just the toughest out in world football right now. They're just hard to knock out.
It's just too many weapons, Joe. Even on this team that has 7, 8 players, regular players missing, and they still look like the best team in the world.
Well,
they still look like defending World Cup champions.
Are they not the best footballing nation in the world? Win or lose this World Cup? Player
for player, yes.
And how do you argue that? Upamecano was terrible in this game, by the way.
Garbage.
And they still found a way. He was overplaying Kane.
Yeah.
It was just really awkward and, very an uneasy performance. Uncomfortable is the better word. And still, again, they're a tough out.
Yeah.
They're a tough out because Griezmann plays. He doesn't get enough credit. The way he plays for France is fantastic. Never, regardless of the goal, Tchouaméni is a player. These are players playing for Real Madrid, right? And so on. And Mbappe is just, and Dembele, and listen, that guy finds a way to score goals. But Mbappe he draws so much attention. So
that's what it is, right?
It's just so much,
You got to bring 2. You got to bring 2 when he has it, right?
Yeah. And listen, Theo Hernandez, that's an ultimate brain fart. First of all, I don't know how that doesn't get called right away. Like, what are we looking at? Now, isn't that a red card, though? Is he not
Of
the
course it's a
last
red
man?
card. Of course it's a red card, Joe.
It is, right?
Of course it is.
And that's Teo, right? The good of Teo Hernandez is, I think I read somewhere he's created the only Mbappe and someone else have created more chances in the World Cup than him. Pretty incredible.
Oh, well, you get down the line and whip it in. Yeah, sure. Of course.
Yeah, and he beats you and he comes in. But he always has these brain farts that can really cost you. Listen, Harry Kane scores that pen.
No, don't say it. Don't. Oh, I thought you were going to say they go on and win.
No, I didn't say they necessarily go on and win, but, Teo Hernandez, the narrative around him is different, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but anyhow, we move. I mean, but yes, we needed to give some credence to that game of football because that was the best game of the World Cup for me. I don't know for you, Reggie, but I mean, other than like Ghana winning a game or whatever, but that was a really good quality game of football.
Ghana, the last 20 minutes of the Ghana Portugal game was pretty good.
Entertaining,
got robbed, but it was pretty good. But start to finish, this game was intense and
great game.
It was a great game. It was. I'm glad to see one that didn't go into PKs. But anyways,
so France moves on to play
the guys that you have in the quarters somehow. I don't even know how you did it, but Morocco, right?
Reg, we spoke about this before. We said, don't watch out for Morocco and look at Morocco. Even like before the tournament, people were saying that's, we both said this is going to be a tough team to get out. I keep saying Amrabat. It's easy to say it now. But Reggie, I want you to vouch for me. I did say this is Amrabat.
Yeah. Fiorentina Serie A guy, of course.
Yeah, and played at Verona, was on loan. I think first of all, I think he's still running. I think he can give. He's the only guy that I think can give N'Golo Kante a run for his money.
Top speed in the 90th minute, still going.
And Reg, good feet too, like playing out a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice player. I think he's going to cash out. I think Fiorentina and their Italian-American ownership, they're gonna make some cake on this, and they should because cash out now.
You think it's a summer move or a winter or a January move?
Oh, take the cash when you can get it. Right. I mean, and we talked about this. There's rumors of Spurs and stuff like that. But I think he'd look good in anywhere in the Premier League, right? Any of who knows? Like maybe you're a club too. I don't know. He's a good player. You're telling me that Man United, that's a buy that you should make. But anyhow, so they move on. I mean, first of all, the Ronaldo thing. That's a tough one for me. Yes, you didn't start Ronaldo and you got the win. Guy scores a hat trick in Gonzalo Ramos. You know me where I stand with this, but that's kind of hard to leave him out. I'm going to be honest with you. What are your thoughts,
Joe? It's your best player. We always say play your best 11, and you said, yeah. I know he scored a hat trick. I know he scored a hat trick the game before. It's his debut. It's his first 3 goals for his country. I understand. Against a poor Switzerland. I get it. But the guy that's been doing it for the last, 12 years for you, is chomping at the bit, still fit enough to play, still causes problems. And we just talked about Mbappe he draws so much attention. You can't leave Ronaldo one-on-one either. There's got to be 2 guys around him.
I'm with you. Do I believe that Ronaldo has caused a little bit of this and so on? Yeah, I do. I think the timing of the interviews, but I have to give him his fair dues here, guys.
But those interviews were for club team, though, Joe.
No. I'm saying all this lead up. Even when he got subbed off, and look, Santos, I think, made his point. He made his point. He didn't start him against Switzerland. Gonzalo Ramos comes on, scores. I get it. I still think what you said is very important. He's going to draw so much attention. And I think now you leave yourself open. And until you lose, and he did, now it's going to be like, man, I didn't start him. Did that cause something? And that's what I'm saying. That will cause the problem. Because this man's legacy is still incredible. For myself, now, full disclosure, I didn't buy into any of this, that Messi or Ronaldo needed to win this World Cup or do something to cement their legacies. They didn't. Anything they would have done in this tournament was like the extra and double extra icing on their cake. They're both fantastic. Let's enjoy the fact that we got to watch them for so many years. I just think now that you left yourself open. Now you lost. The two bigger things for me, I talked to Portugal fans about this, is, I joke with the Ronaldo thing, but leaving out Leao and Vitinha, like Vitinha plays at PSG, guys. Cancelo, like Rafa, like Guerrero playing over Cancelo.
I don't understand the Leao thing, though.
Leao and for me, Leao for sure. And Cancelo,
it's just like you said. It's just like you said earlier with Southgate. It's like he's bringing them in 75 minutes every game, 75 minutes to play the last 15. I don't get it. I don't get it.
You're playing against a team like Morocco who has suffered, meaning they were suffering in the game with fatigue stuff. Rafael Leao doesn't I don't get it. Vitinha plays at PSG, guys. He came on and changed the game for me. Leao comes in. Look at moment of brilliance. Pep's unlucky there. Pepe's unlucky to not knock that in. It's a game of inches. Like there's so much going in, and if you're a Portuguese fan, I get it. Like it's like, man, we had this opportunity. The future is more than bright. Okay, but it's unfortunate because I think they didn't. And then let's talk about, first of all, massive credit to Morocco. It's unbelievable what they've done, and this run is incredible. One goal from open play. One goal at all. Canadian own goal. If you were to tell me Morocco is going to play Croatia, Belgium, Portugal, and Spain and allow as many goals as I've scored in a World Cup, that's pretty amazing.
That says a lot about the group Canada was in too, right? So, I mean, Morocco plays the way Morocco has to play. We have this discussion in our group chats.
Well, I don't understand
almost daily. Like negative football and this and that. Like, I don't understand what way do you expect a team that can't go toe to toe, head to head with someone? How do you expect them to play wide open?
And that's what I'm saying. This is not like Italy in the past. If Germany did this or Spain or England or France. This is with all due respect and massive respect to Morocco doing this. Come on, guys. I think it's a little bit unfair. They've been amazing for them. And, Ziyech and Amrabat and, and Hakimi, those are the ones we know. Bono and that. Now, there's been Zais, who's got hurt. Now. He was fantastic. And on and on. So I think, they did what they needed to do. And those, like I said, those games that they played, not to allow one goal, to me, I'm flabbergasted by what they've done.
Well, they parked the bus, Joel. They parked the bus.
Yeah, it's this nonsense to, So, I mean, again, we're talking about the refereeing and stuff. It has been pretty suspect, but this is nothing new to us because Reggie says it all the time. This is happening throughout this tournament.
Yeah, I'm not taking anyone's excuses about refereeing. There's referee mistakes every game. So I'm not taking that.
Not having it either, Reggie. I'm not.
So,
and yep.
No, I was just gonna say I'm just wondering who the semis and the finals referee is going to be. I'll be honest with everybody else. There's been some shocking refereeing performances, but there's also been some great ones as well. So I mean, I'd be very interested to see who gets the games this weekend.
Yeah, and some referees being sent home and stuff, and I think the referee who did the Holland game, obviously
Argentina,
and Michael Oliver.
Also, Michael Oliver got sent home?
Yeah.
What game did he get sent home from?
I don't know, but I don't think he'll be doing the semifinals.
Well, he better not be. He's horrendous. He was the next guy in England, and I don't know, man. I think he was making too many calls and the right calls, and the FA said, "Hey, we can't have you being perfect." So now he's garbage. But him and Anthony Taylor together were in the World Cup, which is absolutely shocking to me. But
Well, then we have Argentina and the Dutch and Netherlands, which was a really weird situation too. We saw the game that got a little like Paredes kicking the ball into the thing.
Don't you punch him in the face? Doesn't someone punch him in the face? Like
It's
a
really
assistant
weird.
coach or something?
It was really strange. And then even Van Hal with comments and stuff, because you say, listen, Argentina, they're not guilty. They're guilty of those things. Even Messi was really out of character, and hammering guys. Okay, deserves the criticism. But Dumfries even going into after every shot, saying stuff to them, Van Hal's comments, like it was just, but yeah, Paredes kicking the ball in. There was that time. I'm gonna give, there's Messi with the handball stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff that's happening. But I don't know this narrative that like FIFA favoring Argentina, maybe for Messi, but like for Argentina, I don't see it. Like, I think it's just like what you said. Just sometimes the officiating is just really poor.
Yeah, I don't know how you get picked. If it's a random thing you get picked for, I'm not sure if it's you get picked randomly to ref certain games or whatnot. But I mean, you got as big as the characters are on the teams, as far as the players go, the referees have to have just as big as a character as well.
Yeah.
So they have to have a track record of reffing these types of games. Just to come from your local domestic league and do what you do there, it's not enough for me. I mean,
it doesn't seem good enough.
The same way that players have to play well in order to make their national team, the referees have to be able to ref as well to make tournaments like this. And it's almost like, so you want to have the best referees, and then you also have the technology to go and make repair mistakes that were made by the referees if they did make a mistake, and you still don't get it right. So I don't know, Joe. I've me for 10 years or however long I've been saying this about VAR. I mean, it's not helping, that's for sure. It's not perfect at all, but I don't understand how it's not, because you have the ability to rewind something and get the call right, and you still don't. So I don't know.
No, I'm with you.
Should be perfect.
And again, you'd think in the World Cup it gets better, and we've seen like maybe the bigger the moment, the worse it is actually. So, in my opinion,
nobody wants to make that call, Joe.
Yeah, they don't.
You're gonna see more referees going to the monitor because the VAR guys don't want to get involved and say, you go and have a look again. You're gonna see more of that now because nobody wants to make the call.
No, I agree. So Reggie, who wins these games? Let's start with Morocco, France.
I was 1 for 4 in my preview the last game. 1 for 4.
Which one did you get right?
I got France right. That's it.
So you had Portugal.
I had Portugal, I had the Netherlands, Brazil. And I had Brazil. Yeah, I got all of them wrong except the main one for me anyway. But who wins, Joe? I mean, you gotta look at France and say, as great as Morocco's been playing, and they're gonna have to play as well as they played against France, as Spain and Portugal. That defensive shell they were in. That defensive shell is probably going to have to get 2 times better against these guys, because
and with many people out injured,
right,
and like Zais is out, and these other guys,
out,
these guys, so they have people injured, they have people suspended on yellows. I think France just has too much. Would I be shocked if Morocco won? No, but I mean, I'm betting on France to beat Morocco.
Yep, me too. I mean, I'll pick France as well, but just because of what we've just talked about, they have a little too much. They have a little too much, I think.
They do.
Plus, you're going to have to score. Morocco's going to have to score, and I mean, if that field gets stretched, it's over if they lose it. So,
no, I agree with you, Reggie. Okay, Croatia, Argentina.
I like Croatia, not just because of Marco, but
shout out to Marco
Kumic. But I know you don't like to hear it, but and we just talked about it, but I still think FIFA has it in for certains to win. So I don't know. I think Croatia has more than Argentina, actually, if you're going to put it as a team sport, not an individual player sport. But if you're putting it as a team sport, Croatia has more. But I
tend to agree.
I just don't know what's going to happen in these games, depending on the refereeing and things like that. So
yeah, so I'm going to pick France, Reggie.
Yeah,
because of thing. I think if the injuries and the absentees, sorry, the people missing, I think if that was different, I might say it's closer. I'm picking France. So there's the out on a limb. I tend to agree with the Argentina-Croatia thing. I think Croatia, with that midfield and these players, have a lot. I think that Vardiol is out of this world at center back. We know the three-headed monster with Modric, Brozovic, Kovacic. These guys are playing Juranovic and stuff like that. Meyer off the bench and guys like this. Very good players.
I thought I saw Mandzukic. Did I see Mandzukic there too?
No, I think imagine they had him. That would be incredible. But Kramaric and these guys, like I like what they bring. I do. I didn't, Croatia. Luka Modric does not get enough. Like we're talking about Messi in this. We should talk about Luka Modric and what he's still continuously doing. So I think the team, unbelievably, that group, especially the core of that midfield and Vardiol in the back, and what they have, Croatia, for me, I would not be shocked at all. And I kind of think they might even hold an edge here. Imagine. But I'm going to tell you about my thoughts on Argentina and why I think the performance of Lionel Messi is so important, because I do agree that Argentina, this group, I thought they would be better. They haven't been. But the performances, and what Lionel Messi has done in this tournament is pretty impressive to me. It is. He is carrying this team. Let's be honest. They have not been a cinch, right? Started off against Saudi Arabia, squeaking games out, finding moments from Messi. I mean, the pass he gave for the goal against the Dutch was out of this world for me. So he's still creating those moments and doing those things. And you're right. Maybe they're just pushing for him to get over the line, and even in the shootout, Emi Martinez was unbelievable, so I guess Croatia and Argentina actually feel a little bit of a team of destiny-ish for me. They both kind of feel that way. So,
well, you could have a Croatia-France final again, right?
Could you? So when was the last time we had a back-to-back? I think it. I guess it's happened a couple times. Because wasn't it 74? No, I think it's happened one. Didn't we have 86 was Germany,
Argentina,
West Germany, and Argentina? And I think in 90 it was Germany and Argentina.
Oh yeah, it was. It was Germany, Argentina in 90 as well.
Right.
4 years later.
I wouldn't be shocked. Right. I wouldn't be shocked if this Croatia team wins. So maybe just because of sentimental things, I'm going to pick Argentina. But I don't know, man. I think Croatia is going to do this. I think they're going to. Listen, no doubt I would prefer Argentina. Sorry, Marco. But I love Croatia too. I really like both these teams in terms of winning. But Croatia and Luka Modric really intrigue me, man. They do. They do. And they have a lot. And they've just taken punches. I want to get to one moment, which I talked to you on the phone about, Croatia and Brazil. Brazil was in the semifinal, right? In the 100 and what minute, Reggie? 118?
Oh, yes.
And I just think, Fred loses the ball.
Why is he on the field, Joe?
There's another issue. Croatia makes their way down with a great counter, pushing, puts 6 in the box. It's the 118th minute. It's 6v4.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In the defending box.
Crazy.
I just don't understand that.
Where was everybody?
I just don't understand it. So just for the sheer fact of 6v4, and in that moment making the right decision, Croatia gets rewarded. Oh, it's deflected. Right, but Croatia still attacked properly.
Oh, yeah.
Brazil, to me, defended. Just inexcusably. And that team is out. And then the shootout, Reg. We said this. Was Neymar supposed to shoot fifth? Why on this earth has your top shooter not shooting in the first 3?
It's got to be Joe. It's got to. I don't know what the game plan was. But like you said, your top 3 penalty takers got to take the first 3.
Got to take it.
Got to.
They got to take it. They have to be in there, don't they?
Of course. Of course, Joe. You're going to save your guys. You're going to save your guys to take the 5th one. What if it doesn't get to the 5th one? What happens if it doesn't get there?
What if they don't get there? So
crazy, man.
Reggie, crazy that the next time we talk, we're going to be talking about a World Cup final.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Maybe, what's the first game? Which game is on Saturday? Well, the Saturday is the third place game. Yeah. So when it was tomorrow and Wednesday, right?
It is. So tomorrow, Argentina face Croatia in the World Cup semifinal. I'm
gonna be at work for that.
Yeah,
but I really want to watch that France-Morocco game. I want to see what Morocco can pull out, if they can pull out anything. But we'll see. Yeah, by the time we talk, you're right. By the time we talk next time, we're gonna have a World Cup champion in the first ever winner of World Cup.
Amazing. Give me your 2 best players of the World Cup. Just
2 best.
20. Yeah.
Well, like you, Amrabat. He's fantastic. It's the first time I've heard of him, and I don't really watch Fiorentina games. And maybe if I catch it in a highlight and he's made a pass or something like that. But to watch a 90-minute performance like that on a world stage like that against the best players in the world, he's fantastic, Joe. Absolutely fantastic. I would also give it to, and I wish I could pronounce his name, so I'll just say the Croatian goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
Game changer.
We got to know this. Don't we got to find this out?
Yeah, I know. I would call Marco and ask him, but game changer, Joe. Not just because, just big boy makes all the saves he needs to make. That's it. That's all he needs to do. And even in the penalty shootouts, just to be able to make those saves, and he's one of the standout guys for me.
Is it Livakovic?
It might be. I'd have to look it up.
We're in trouble, right?
Of course we are. Marco's going to kill all of us. How come you don't know all the players? They're going to win the World Cup.
Yeah, we are now a hack.
Yeah. Your buddy, your Liverpool friend is going to be, oh my God, these guys don't know anything. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's right. That's it. We are those guys. We are the bad, we're the bad
name pronouncers, I guess. Yeah, we're terrible. What about you, Joe? The top 2?
Top 2 is so for me, Amrabat. I mean, I've been telling you that I love this guy.
Yeah.
And for me, he's been amazing. And yeah, I know you're gonna, but it's been Messi. Messi has been something. This team is not that good. They're not that good.
I wanted to ask you about Argentina. How come Angel Correa doesn't play? How come Paulo Dybala doesn't play? The other guy, he played Lazio. He's a Correa. Another Correa.
Oh,
Javier? He's hurt? Okay.
Who's the other? Joaquin Correa.
Javier.
Yeah, he's hurt.
Yeah,
so Livakovic.
Yes. Fantastic in that. Why don't those guys play, Joe?
I don't know.
Not a minute.
And then it was asked about Dybala, and this is, it's a choice. I don't know. Enzo Fernandez has been very good too for me, but I mean, listen, players of the tournament, Amrabat for me and Messi. But I mean, Reggie, in saying that, I don't know, that guy Mbappe, I don't know, Bono from Morocco, but I just think with what he's done with this team, because I don't think that they've gelled that well. They didn't. What game did they look out of this world in? They didn't. They've had to suffer through every game.
Well, they looked out of this world against the Netherlands for a little bit, and then Emi Martinez did the dance or stood over. I think it was Weghorst, and then got dummied for 2 right after that. So,
yeah. So
I mean, they haven't looked good at all, Joe.
No, and so this is what I'm saying. So I'm interested to see how Croatia approaches this because they are more than capable of having the ball, right? And they have the Modric, and in there to pulling strings and doing things and dropping into areas where Messi is. So this is going to be a really interesting game. I don't know. Do we smell 2 free kicks from each of them? Wow, that'd be amazing. So
That game goes to PKs,
yeah,
I think, Joe.
and
Unfortunately.
and I think the weight of those shoulders, and this is where I see like a heart rate thing for Messi if it goes to PKs. I don't know why, but
Oh yeah, really,
it
eh?
is. I do, but again, to wrap up the Ronaldo and Messi thing, just for myself, they're both incredible players, and I know we want to create we want to create this Hollywood narrative around it. Listen, both generational talents that we lived in the Messi Ronaldo era, and that's pretty cool. But players of the tournament there was so at the end of this, Reggie, I guess before the World Cup final, we will do our good ideas. Maybe people want to hear about our starting 11, our best 11 from the tournament. So
Okay.
obviously after the final might be more poignant because people might make their name in the final, right? So, but something to think about, and that's that.
So yeah, like you said, we'll do a recap show. We'll review everything. We'll reiterate Canadian group. We'll talk about what we loved and what we didn't like in the World Cup and all that stuff. Everything that goes with a review of a major tournament. But something closer to home, Joe. Got something closer to home happening.
Well, what do you got?
Well, I'm wearing the shirt, right? So there was lots of speculation on the future of Jonathan Osorio. Was he going to go overseas to Europe? It was looking that way for a little bit, but news came down today. He signed a 3-year deal to stay at the Toronto FC.
Yes, he did.
I mean, and you were telling me something very interesting when we were on the phone this evening as well. But I just don't understand if that's true. I don't understand it.
So again, Reggie, I don't know if this is just rumored and say that possibly he's going to take up the third DP spot. I doubt that that's going to be true. I doubt it, but could be. But again, maybe that's just speculation, but that's what I read. But I think ideally they would not want to do that. But what about even Vasquez coming back, taking a medical, and apparently possibly being brought in at TFC?
Who, Vasquez? Victor Vasquez? No, yeah. No way. Back again? Oh, don't get me wrong. Him with
look who's back.
Those two? Oh yeah, that'd be nice to watch. But is that going to be as a DP?
I don't know. No, that would not be on DP from what I'm hearing and reading. But
where is he now? In LA?
Yes, it was at LA Galaxy. Yeah, I believe so. Yes,
Vanny's letting him go.
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh yeah, if Victor Vasquez wants to come back, Victor Vasquez can come back. No issue with that.
You liked watching him pass
fantastic
the ball
player. What a great player.
Yeah, a great player.
Again, he's going to have talent around him, but I think there is talent around him.
More than useful, yeah. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, for sure. That's great.
All right.
So I guess we're going to have to get into club mode too pretty soon, because we're going to be the EPL starts in 13 days. Boxing Day, everyone plays, and then the transfer window opens, and there's a lot of rumors flying around. I don't know where everyone's getting all this money from, but there's a lot of rumors floating around that we have to discuss. So we'll probably get into that into the new year. Our Christmas break is coming up. So our next show is probably going to be our last show of the year. So we'll try to recap the World Cup, obviously, and try to recap what we've seen from our club teams and what players are doing what, especially in the league, and anything else that we might want to talk about that day.
And Reggie, you should tell the people of your big thing that you've affected the World Cup. Should you tell the people or no?
Say it again. Sorry.
You should tell the people, our listeners, what how he's affected the World Cup. Lucas Paqueta, guy, is just doing these amazing dances. What a dancer he is, man.
Oh yeah, he's a great dancer. They got the coach involved, everything.
He is an amazing. All joking aside, that guy is amazing. I love watching him dance. I'm not joking. And you know what, guys?
Well, he can dance at West Ham or wherever he plays.
Full disclosure. Reggie taught him everything he knows. So there you have it.
What did I do?
Reggie taught him how to dance.
Oh yeah. I taught him the 1-2 step there.
It's actually pretty amazing. He's actually very entertaining, and I'm not making a joke, and I'm not dogging him. He's incredible. Anyway.
He needs to score more. Thank you. That's about
I'll
it.
leave you with that. What a dancer! Incredible dancer.
What are you trying to say, Joe? He's not a very good player. What are we trying to say here?
Bro, I know we're always sarcastic. I rate him as a player. I'm very upset that Milan let him go. And he is he might be one of the, dare I say, one of the best dancing athletes I've ever seen.
Okay, we'll leave it at
truths.
I'm not making a joke. We'll leave it at that. I think every Vinicius Jr., I think Gabriel Jesus.
No. Is the best. Lucas Paqueta is the best, man.
Okay.
That moves. Anyway. Moves like that.
Dancing feet. So, guys, that's another hour-long discussion about one of the biggest tournaments in the world in any sport. We have our predictions. Let's see what happens. Again, I went 1 for 4 last time, so maybe it flips and turns around, or maybe I'm totally wrong again this week. Who knows? But as usual, you can get us on any podcast platform. Anybody that has podcasts on their platform, you can get us. We're on Spotify, or on iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Stitcher, TuneIn, Player FM. We're everywhere. If you're watching this, well, obviously we're on YouTube. If you haven't subscribe, like the videos, subscribe to all our Spotify channels as well. We put out content on that as well. So, guys, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week. Messi to win the World Cup, eh?